inner ball joints, use a 22 millimeter. I'm pretty spoiled because I took my motor out, but worst case scenario, I've seen people use a wrench. The other inner ball joint with the 22. Once you get the inner ball joints removed using a 22 millimeter, you're going to use a 19 millimeter wrench and show them down here. The stud with the nut is right here. There's not much space. That's why you have to use a wrench, but there's just enough room that you can get that nut off. This is the outer ball joint on the lower control arm. And it'll take a while, but you can get it off. Like I said, 19 for the outer ball joint. Not a lot of room, but you'll get it. So the lollipops, it's a 17 millimeter. Move the outer tie rod, it's a 17 millimeter. Alright, you can start putting. I just want to show that you get. That back for me too. Got it.
Bingo.
Alright, that's cool. Left with both stock, lower control arms, and the outer tie rods. This is what you're left with once you get everything off. No control arms, no outer tie rods. Pretty much just a strut, and the inner tie rod will be left. The angle kit comes with new lower control arms and new outer tie rods. I'll go ahead and install those here in a sec, and I'll show you what I gotta do. It's just the opposite of installation, or opposite of the removal. Shouldn't be too bad. Let's get that. Install the SLR angle kit. The inner ball joint 22 millimeter, outer ball joint 22 millimeter. You'll need a 19 millimeter to hook that up to the hub, and 17 millimeter for the lollipops. Adjustment on the SLR angle kit, you can loosen up the tie rod and move it out or in. Right now I have it on the middle. Gonna go ahead and try that out before I try out the full drift setting. But yeah. So first off, get the inner ball joint stud, get it up through here. And watch him tighten down that nut on there. Put Loctite. Alright, that's good. Get the outer ball joint stud. Okay, then you're going to put the 22 on. Use some Loctite, thread locker of your choice. Then get your 22 millimeter wrench. Tighten that up. There's no space, but you'll get it. Go ahead and start. Next, you're going to use a 13 millimeter and get this inner tie rod threaded into the new SLR tie rod. Careful not to cross thread it. To mount the SLR adapter. This is a 19 millimeter top and bottom. You're going to go ahead and just tighten that up. This is where the tie rod used to mount. Okay. Next, once you got those all on there, you'll use a 17 millimeter to put in the lollipop. Now you want to use a 13 on the inner tie rod. The wheel's straight, but obviously the steering wheel's straight, but the wheel isn't straight. So use a 13 millimeter. Try to get the alignment close as you can by eye, and then get it to a rack as soon as you can. That's good. So once you're done, that's what you got. Full lock, don't stop. Reverse entries. You know how it goes. Go ahead and go the other way, bro. It's on the ground. Glad I decided to paint my kit. Go ahead and straighten it out, bro. Just want to show how aggressive the fitment and stance gets. Holy shit. So you will need over fenders or roll the crap out of yours, just so you know. But yeah, looks sick.